Here's a detailed 600-word version combining storm updates and President Trump's remarks. Presented in a unified paragraph, the country is currently facing a severe storm system that has wreaked havoc across several states, leaving destruction in its wake and prompting urgent emergency responses. This powerful storm has brought torrential rain, intense winds, and widespread flooding, disrupting daily life and endangering countless residents. Authorities have issued severe weather warnings across the affected regions, urging people to stay indoors and avoid unnecessary travel. In areas hardest hit, such as the Midwest and parts of the South, emergency responders are working around the clock to rescue stranded individuals and provide aid to those in need. Roads and highways have been closed due to flooding and fallen debris, while thousands of homes are experiencing prolonged power outages. Utility companies are racing against time to restore electricity, but the scale of the damage has made it a challenging task. In addition to power disruptions, many communities are reporting significant damage to property, with roofs torn off, trees uprooted, and vehicles submerged in floodwaters. Residents are being advised to heed evacuation orders and seek shelter in safe zones, as meteorologists warn that the storm system may intensify further in the coming hours. Emergency shelters have been set up in schools, community centers, and other facilities to accommodate displaced families. Relief efforts are also underway, with local governments coordinating with federal agencies to ensure food, water, and medical supplies reach those in need. Amid these developments, President Trump addressed the nation from the White House, providing crucial remarks on the government's response to the unfolding crisis. Speaking to reporters, the president emphasized the federal government's full support for state and local authorities in managing the disaster. He highlighted the activation of FEMA resources to assist with evacuation efforts, disaster relief funding, and infrastructure repair. The president also commended the bravery and resilience of emergency responders and volunteers who are putting their lives on the line to ensure the safety of their communities. In his speech, he urged Americans to follow the guidance of local officials and to remain patient as recovery efforts continue. Beyond the immediate concerns of the storm, President Trump also used the platform to address broader issues, including ongoing economic challenges and international developments. He spoke about the administration's recent measures to stabilize the economy, including discussions on tax reforms, job creation, and infrastructure investments aimed at bolstering resilience in the face of natural disasters. The president also touched on foreign relations, noting the need for continued vigilance in addressing global security threats and fostering diplomatic ties. While some praised his decisive tone and focus on disaster response, critics argued that more could have been done to prepare for such events, pointing to gaps in long-term climate resilience planning and funding for critical infrastructure upgrades. Meanwhile, as the storm continues to move through the central and eastern parts of the country, meteorologists are closely monitoring its trajectory, with forecasts suggesting the potential for further intensification. Experts have noted the storm's unusually fast pace and widespread impact, comparing it to some of the most severe weather events in recent history. Communities along the storm's projected path are bracing for further disruptions, with many already experiencing significant strain on resources. Hospitals and medical centers are working to accommodate an influx of patients injured by falling debris or exposed to the harsh weather conditions. At the same time, local leaders are urging residents to check on their neighbors, particularly the elderly and vulnerable, to ensure their safety during this difficult time. Relief organizations are calling for donations to support their efforts, including food, clothing, and financial contributions to help rebuild affected communities. The situation remains dynamic, with officials continuing to provide updates on evacuation zones, safety precautions, and weather developments. Citizens are encouraged to stay informed through reliable news sources, follow emergency protocols, and reach out to authorities for assistance if needed. This unfolding crisis underscores the importance of preparedness and community solidarity in the face of natural disasters, as Americans come together to weather the storm and support one another in the recovery process.